Anyway, he just started shouting, calling me a lot of names which I can't remember, and was on the phone to somebody shouting down the phone. I looked over and gave him a dirty look, and he went, what, want to start something? I'm gonna kick your dog, and I'm gonna kick you. And then, he just started shouting and saying stuff like that over and over again. And because he started shouting at me, I have got a really nasty temper anyway. I inherited my temper from my late father. So I just started, I basically lost my temper and I started shouting back at him. I was kind of staying away from my house and not going in till he had gone because I didn't want him to know where I live and ring the police telling them a pack of bullshit lies. So anyway, he said he was going to kick me and kick my dog. So I started shouting back at him, told him that he'd better shut up or he's going to get his face smashed in. He said, well, let me tie my dog up then and you can try it. We'll go here because I'll kick you and I'll kick your dog. So I told him to shut up and just F off. He didn't like that and he started shouting back. So I started shouting at him. He said he'd seen me shouting at people in the streets. And I didn't start shouting at him. Which was not true because I don't think he lives around here. I've never seen him before. I have seen French bulldogs around here, but, you know, French bulldogs all look the same to me, so I couldn't say if it was a French bulldog that I'd seen before or not. But he started shouting his mouth off, saying he was going to kick me, he was going to kick my dog. And if he tied his dog, he'll tie his dog up and then we can have a fight. And I just said, yeah, shut your mouth, F off. I know somebody who's been in prison and I'm going to get them to come down here and smash your face in. He says, yeah, right, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. They were just basically calling each other names like that. He called me a spastic, said, I've got problems and I need help. So I said, yeah, right, you're one yourself, just F off. And we carried on shouting at each other like that for a while. Then I calmed down, I walked away and went down the other end of the street. He was still pretty much shouting. But I waited till he was out of my way and I felt that he had gone completely. Then I just went back in home. I had basically told him that his dog started it, and he went, yeah, did it though? And I went, yeah, it did. But I know I shouldn't have said that because it wasn't true, and his dog did not start it. But I was angry at the time, so I would have just said anything because I was really pissed at the way he was behaving. And he could have said things a lot nicely. But he was just one of those people who are not a nice person at all. Who are not nice people at all. But I know I shouldn't have said that his dog started it when it never, but I was angry at the time. But I feel the man could have handled it better instead of shouting at me. He could have calmly explained that, said, look, I think that dog's a bit out of control, maybe he needs a muzzle, said something like that. And I could have explained that I don't think it was fighting, I think it was rough play or just something like that. But because he started shouting at me, it sort of escalated. But anyway, I got Toto inside. I checked him over, and there did not seem to be any damage. And thankfully, the man was wearing Crocs with socks, which, yeah, Crocs. Of all things, that's what he chooses to wear, Crocs. Yeah, I would not be caught dead wearing those things. They are ugly. Which shows what bad fashion sense he had. Somebody called the fashion police. But anyway, thankfully he was not wearing hard shoes. He was just wearing Crocs with socks. So I checked the dog over, and there didn't seem to be too much damage, but there didn't seem to be any damage. He was behaving normally. He was eating, he was going toilet as normal. So he seemed to be fine. I took Toto to the vets the next day, and I basically explained what had happened. She agreed with me that people have got more nasty in recent years. And she checked him over and said that he mustn't have kicked him that hard because there were not any, he wasn't that damaged, he wasn't really damaged, and there didn't seem to be any bruising or anything like that, which I was actually pleased about. But she did explain that because of everything going on in the news lately with XL bullies, that people do tend to be afraid of the bulldog breeds. So she said, just be careful, be a bit more vigilant, and she advised that I get a muzzle. Just to be on the safe side. Even if he doesn't attack and another dog does, that the muzzle will protect him. And if he went for another dog in self-defense, he would get the blame because he's the bigger dog. So she just advised that I get a muzzle and that I could go there to have it fitted, so I wasn't wasting my money on a muzzle that doesn't fit. And I agreed to that.